Yo, what's good, y'all? Stay True Conversations. Chris here, and today I got a special guest for you, my guy Gene Borrello.
What's going on, man?
Gene, appreciate you coming, brother.
Yes, man. Thank you for having me.
So, Gene and I connected a couple months back. A mutual friend of ours. Gene's up in Tampa, where I used to live before I migrated down here to Miami. And Gene's got a hell of a story. Ex-Mafia mob associate. Bonnano crime family. You may have heard of them, one of the big five.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump right into it. Let's just get right into it. You got a fucking badass story, quite a journey you've been on. So where did it all start? Where did it begin?
So, as I did a lot of podcasts now through my life, I explained a lot of things, how it happened, where I was born, and how it all came about, and how I got caught up in that life. And it was more or less like the title of my book, Born in the Life, because I was technically born into it. I'm a little older. I was born in 1984. I'm 40 years old now. And I grew up in Canarsie, Brooklyn, stronghold, tiny neighborhood. And then I moved over to a neighborhood called Howard Beach, Queens. Howard Beach, Queens is an infamous neighborhood, which if you look at it, it's a rich neighborhood. It's beautiful, mansions, everything. But what's inside this neighborhood is not what it appears. It's all gangsters, all mob bosses. It's all just known lunatics, murderers, people that, they make movies about now, all come from that neighborhood. So I had 5 families, ready for this? 4 of them lived in the neighborhood, the bosses. 4 bosses out of the 5 lived in Howard Beach. Do you understand how crazy that is? With captains, soldiers, everything. So the neighborhood was a mafia stronghold. And growing up, my uncle was a guy named Fat Andy Ruggiano. He's a legendary mobster. He came up under Albert Anastasia, killed people for Albert Anastasia, became a captain under Don Carlo. Very respected, feared man. That was my mother's godfather. On my dad's side, I had a cousin named Johnny Boy Borrello, Johnny Boy, who was a hitter for the Gambinos. He was killed. Real dangerous kid. My grandpa hung out, everybody. So it was all around me. All my families were involved, and it was kind of easy to me to gravitate to that. And at the end of the day, I'm Sicilian, and I had that genetic, that wild genetic. So when I was coming up, I was a wild kid. And what does organized crime mafia guys look for? A wild guy, collecting money, beating people up, shooting people, the things that I was doing. So eventually, I didn't like school. I was bad in school, always in trouble. By the age of 15, I dropped out, and then I went into the street life. And then by the age of 18, I was hanging around mob guys a lot. I knew them my whole life, but I started hanging out with them at 18. I went to jail. I came home at 20, and I was full-blown organized crime.
So you said you went to jail at 18.
Yeah.
What was that for?
That was for a kilo of cocaine.
Damn.
Me and my grandfather were co-defendants. Yeah, my grandpa took the weight for me because I wasn't supposed to be there. I helped him out with some, and I ended up doing almost 2 years for that. He got a 3 to 9 year sentence, and I ended up coming home, and I went full blown, opposite from drugs, loan sharking, sports betting, armed robbery.
When you say opposite from drugs, was that because you
Yeah.
at that point, one strike, you already know you get popped again?
No, mafia, you're not allowed to sell drugs.
So they were, okay. And I knew
if you want to be a part of it, you can't deal with drugs.
Okay, so that's always been a golden rule.
Right. It's not about they're against it. It's a secret rule because they all do it. Just don't get caught doing it.
Right.
Because you're going to pay with your life. You're going to pay with your life, or you're going to get chased or vanished away because they don't want it. And why they don't want it is because before the RICO Act, they were given life for drugs.
Yeah.
RICO now, you're buried anyway. But it was a thing where drugs was life in prison, in the federal system. So they were very strict with the drugs. And like I said, when I came home in 2004, there was no more. That was just bookmaking, Shylocking, armed robbery. Scores. I was a big score guy.
So you get out. I imagine that 2 years bought you a little bit of credit.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I was an adolescent in Reichers Island. It was a fucking war zone. Constantly fighting and crazy shit going on there. And it made me worse than what I was. You don't come out better. It's just a nonstop. It's the most dangerous county in America.
Yeah, you're a product of your environment.
It's the #1 most dangerous county in America. Beat out every county. LA County, all of them. It's, just horrific.
So you get out. What's your next play? What you said you started what?
Opened up a book. I opened up a sports betting business with my partner Bobby G, who's Vinny Asaro and Ronnie Giolonto's nephew. They're Bonnano guys. I was born Gambino. I went that route. Obviously, I told the story in a few podcasts. We'll get into it, but I ended up being with Bonnano guys. I didn't go with my bloodline.
Is that uncommon?
No, it happens. There was brothers, Eddie Lino and Frankie Lino. They were both brothers. One's Gambino, one's Bonnano. It's weird. I know, it just happens like that.
Complicated.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, what if they're like, oh, you got to go take your brother?
I mean, that never happens, but it can. But the rules that as your oath says, if your wife's on her deathbed and we call for you, you got to leave her. That's how they, their oath is that they believe in.
I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I
respect it in a way.
Yeah, they don't go by it though. A lot of it's all just bullshit. And we'll get into that too. But like I said, for the most part, when I came home in 2004, I opened up a sports book. We were doing sports loans, and like I said, we were big score guys, heist guys.
All right, so walk me through a day in the life.
Day in the life, you remember, I don't have no job. I never worked a day in my life.
Right.
We make a lot of money. The power and respect that I've seen from that life, it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? The fear,
Addictive, I'm sure.
Addictive, the money, the women, you get I lived a party life my whole life, so I know what it's like to have the prettiest girls, nicest cars, jewelry, so I always lived like that. And I never had to work for it. You know what I mean? So that's why, the government hates you, obviously, and, police, you know what I mean? So, but what came with it was in and out of jail my whole life. But for the most part, I lived a good life. And like I said, the easy money was very addicting.
Of course.
It was. And, just walking around, I had pistols on me 24/7 like it was normal. I'm walking around with a gun like I have a permit. You know what I mean? I have no permit.
You're a convicted felon.
Yeah, and I carried on me every day. I was a gunslinger. That was my thing. I was a known gun guy. That was my reputation as a gun guy. It was
trigger man.
I was a trigger man, and that's how I really made my reputation. And basically, I became a very feared individual.
Well, I've heard you say you loved that shit.
Loved it. I love hunting people. I love going on missions.
The rush?
Yeah, I just like sit. I watch. I do my homework. These are other bad guys, so your audience understand. Going after gang members or the mob guys or guys that disrespected us over money and things. Also you got to break down organized crime. We don't hurt innocent people. We don't hurt women and children. That's what keeps us different from everybody else. You know what I mean? When we got to beef with the person, it's the person. We can't get the person, then we wait until we get them. We don't take it on cousins and brothers and mothers like cartels and other people. We don't operate like that.
Well, I've heard you tell stories like this specifically. I think it was Howard Beach, but you said basically, they were saying, well, you guys don't run shit anymore.
Oh, that was a Crip kid that did that, and I tried to shoot him in his head.
Because they were coming after the neighborhood kids. Will you tell that story? It was a good story.
Yeah, so there was a kid named Nelson Cruz. His name was Nelly. He was a gang member with the Crips, and I had just came home in July of 2010. I just did 4 years for a shooting, and I came home, and I was home like 6 months, and I kept hearing this kid's name, and he's coming in our area, and our area is very beautiful. Remember that. If you look at the neighborhood, it's beautiful. It's a rich neighborhood in Queens. So it doesn't, like I said, you don't realize what's inside of it. You don't realize how dangerous that neighborhood is. So when I heard he was robbing little kids, I knew a lot of them. They were coming to me. He broke one kid's nose, took the chain. I'm like, all right. I went to Vinny Asaro, who was, like a John Gotti, very respected, one of the most respected men in the Bonnano family ever. He's part of the Lufthansa heist, Goodfellas, that was his heist. Yeah. I worked directly for him and his nephew. Ronnie was away, so I answered to Vinny while Ronnie was in jail. I went to Vinny, I told him the situation. He said, go talk to him, tell him just get out of the area. And with that shit, I ended up going over there, meeting him, but I didn't bring a pistol with me. I didn't want to go that route. I'm just trying to, I understand you're a robber, you're trying to make money, but you're doing, we're trying to break it down to him. You don't fuck with our area. We understand you want to go rob, go do it out there. And I went to go see him, and he was with his boys, and he kind of wised off, like, fuck out of here, like, you don't run shit no more. I was like, all right, I just laughed about it, all right, and I went back to Vinny, and Vinny says, yeah, take that motherfucker out, basically. Are you serious? That's what he said? Yeah. All right, and I made him a believer, bro. 357 snub. I seen him like a month later. He probably thought nothing of it. Turned around, I fucking tried to blow his head right off. The gun was so powerful. If anyone knows about a 357, I don't lie. I never used a 357 before. I'm a 380 guy, a 22. There's no kick on these guns. Yeah, bro. This thing was like a boom, like the Dirty Harry. It was a bomb, and I held it with one hand. I messed up. I grazed his head. I almost blew his whole brains out. I thought I blew him away, but what the problem was is that it was broad daylight. Right by my social club. For people that don't understand what a social club is where all the gangsters hang out. So this is Bonnano headquarters. So you have all mob guys in my place. It's on a corner, cameras everywhere, card tables, the whole thing. We got a little hangout. So I did it right there in the corner, which was a no-no. So I got in trouble for doing that, and also I didn't kill him. So they were mad about that too. So, but he got the message, and he never came around again. But the crazy part of this story, which people are gonna bug out, 6 months later, he killed a 22-year veteran cop, NYPD, and got 25 to life. So the guy was nuts. The crew was crazy, but it just goes to show you never know who you're dealing with. He would have killed me in 2 seconds. He shot an NYPD cop like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So imagine what he did to me. You know what I mean? So you never know who you're dealing with. But at the end of the day, I made him a believer. He knew I was serious because I was aiming at his face with a fucking hand cannon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he knew what I was trying to do. I wasn't coming there to dance with you.
Right.
I was coming there to kill you.
Right.
So he got the message, never came around again. 6 months later, killed the cop.
Fuck.
Yeah. Him and 4 guys. For over $800 robbery.
That's insane.
The cops got called to the scene. He turned around, they fired, they shot the cop in the neck and the head, killed him. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So if I would have killed this scumbag, the innocent cop would have been alive.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you never picked up a charge for that?
Well, later on in life. Not then. That was 2011. I never got caught for that.
Damn.
Yeah. Never got caught for that shooting.
Can you speak on that? Like, I don't know if you can speak on something like attempted.
Yeah, I spoke. I had a bunch of shootings. Another one I did, a kid named Luigi. He had owed like $40,000, and it was too pudgy. A guy in our crew. He wasn't really a tough guy. He was more of like a money guy. Ronnie's serving time, so the guy was stopped paying, and he got tough with pudgy and told him, I ain't paying shit. Get it in blood. The message got back to Ronnie. What he said, Ronnie sent it through email though. Ronnie's crazy. He wasn't thinking. Send the kid. I mean, the feds know I'm the code for the kid. I mean, obviously they're investigating for years. So when he says send the kid or tell the kid,
that was your name.
That was my nickname. No, that wasn't my nickname in the street, but it was the code from his jail to get shit done. And I knew what he wanted me to do. He didn't say kill him. I'm not gonna bullshit. I almost killed him by accident because he grabbed the gun. And what ended up happening is that I sat on him. I had somebody lure him to me. The kid in the car. We'll get to that. What I ended up almost doing to him. I had this kid, Sean Camarado, bring him to me by 207 Park. I says, just make sure the doors are open. I'm going to pop him in the car. I was just going to shoot him in the legs. You know what I'm saying? What ends up happening is, everything happened perfect. He was in a Hummer, H2, the big black one. I opened the door. I put the gun to his leg. He grabbed the gun. I ended up shooting him in his hip into his face.
Damn.
Yeah, so I almost killed him. I wasn't supposed to, but, that's another one. And then the kid in the car, his kid's name was Sean Camarado, the cops pulled him in. All of a sudden, they brought my picture to Luigi's hospital bed. And he says, no, he held it down. No, it's not the one that shot me. I'm getting delusional. I think Sean just gave my name. I go to my people. I know it's going to sound crazy, but this is the life I was living. I says, I want permission to kill Sean. I says, you got to go. I think no problem. Go. I dug a hole in the weeds. Me and my guy, Darren Elliott, we dug a 4-foot hole. And I guess Sean must have felt the heat because he took off to Vegas. And you want to know the fucked up part? He didn't cooperate against me. So I would have killed this 20-year-old kid for no reason. That's where my mind was. I was so nuts and so involved in that. And I was on parole for a shooting. So I get 27 years for this shooting, easy. So I'm thinking he's cooperating against me. He's not even. I go dig a hole in the weeds, 4 feet deep, takes us fucking hours to do it. And I cover it with a piece of plywood. I'm trying to kidnap this kid for 2 weeks. I can't find him. He took off to Vegas.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I must either he knew, because I kept trying to meet him, and he probably knew how nuts I was, and he's probably like, I think this kid's gonna do something to me, and he took off to Vegas. He was smart because he was gonna die. He was gone.
That brings up something that I think is, I don't know if you've talked about yet. How was your fucking mind state during those periods of time, right? The paranoia, the constant looking over your back, compared to now, right?
Right.
And when you're in it, I know you don't think, oh, this isn't normal. But looking back, do you look at any of that shit like, God, I was fucking just anxious, paranoid?
No, I wasn't anxious. I wasn't anxious or paranoid. I was more learning. See, what we're taught, it's like for the interest of the family. So that comes first. So like I gotta kill someone, obviously if it's like a bad, we don't kill him like it says. But if it's a person, he's not. The kid Sean's a drug dealer, he's involved, he's setting people up to get shot. You know what I'm saying? You're not a civilian.
Right, you're not innocent.
You're an innocent person. So if he's gotta go, he's gotta go because it's to protect us. And we look at it as protecting the whole family because at the end of the day, that could be, I get locked up, something happens. It just hurts people. So you gotta cover your tracks with things like that. You know what I'm saying? So killing him, a life meant nothing to me.
Well, sure, yeah, because you're protecting.
Yeah, but it's for the greater cause, right?
Okay.
So that's how I was taught, and that's what I believed in. It is sick. It is sick.
Well,
but
I think in a way, you strike me as like a loyalist, bro.
Right.
Like
I got fucked over a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was too loyal.
And I I saw that when we met, and I feel like I'm similar to that in a lot of regards, where I'm like, dude, I live for the code and the loyalty and the respect and shit. And
you know what always messed people up so much? I don't look like the way I am. I don't look like I look like a friend. I am a friendly guy, but you'll never know my past unless I tell you, because, you know, I don't appear as this monster, crazy guy, and I was, and that's also another benefit I had getting next to people.
Sure, of course. You're a chameleon, bro. You're undercover.
You know what I mean? So I was good at what I did, and then I was proposed to be a member at 27 years old, which is young. I never got in yet because everybody got locked up, things happened, but I was proposed for membership at young age.
And I would, in your defense, right, I mean, this is probably the tail end of the glory days of organized crime, right?
Absolutely. But
10 years before, you would have been a fucking rock star.
Oh, forget it. And not only that, it's like, what made sense about it is that, like, what we used to say when people would say that, well, fuck with our crew and see what happens. Like when guys would say, oh, the life's over. Ronnie and I were like, okay, so cross us and see what happens to you, because, you know, that's how we were. We were still living that old school life.
Of course.
Yeah, other crews are pussies. They're not doing no work. I can't even name a shooting. In the 80s, 90s, it was nothing but that. They were fucking Wild Wild West cowboys. They were worse than gang members.
Yeah, it was wild.
There was 1,000 me's running around. In the 2000s, you had a couple of us, but my crew was bad. And so when they would say the Mafia's over, well, fuck with us and see what happens. See if it's over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how we kept it, you know?
What do you think, and my guess would be the government, right?
Yeah, they don't play.
Right. And I would say you think it was just a stranglehold against the Mafia for such a long time.
Well, we ran the country at one point. You have to. You know, John Gotti was one of the most powerful men in the world at one time. I mean, you can't let this guy take the world over. I mean, you know, you got to go. They get unlimited funds to prosecute organized crime. I don't know if you know that. They're glory cases.
I didn't know that.
Unlimited funds. There's no amounts. So when they were going after Gotti and all of them, the government would give them any amount of money they wanted, because, first of all, you're all getting promoted on these cases. Guys are becoming judges. Everybody's somebody because of organized crime cases in New York. All these people that are put in place. Giuliani. All these judges. Gleason. I could keep naming them. It's from the Mafia cases. You know what I'm saying?
Was Giuliani's World Series.
We're the most high-profile people in New York. We were actually #1 priority over terrorism in New York.
I believe that.
No, it was. We were #1 for a while. That's sick.
Because they were considering you guys domestic.
None of that, because we're taking union, sanitation, fish, everything went through us. You couldn't do nothing in the 5 boroughs without going through a mob guy. They had to collapse that, you know? People were getting killed too, you know, a lot.
So you're 27, you get proposed from affiliate to
about to become a member.
Made man.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But because the organization is essentially...
Oh, everybody gets locked up.
Right.
You know, we're very strict with certain things. Like, once the boss goes away, if there's no top 3, which is boss and the boss consigliere, you can't be made. They're the only guys that can bring into a family.
Yeah.
So if they're gone, who's making you?
Right.
Nobody. You gotta wait until it gets filled in, or if they allow it. Allow captains to do it. They'll approve a captain to do it for you, but it's rare. You know what I mean?
So at this point, how much money are you making like a month? 40K?
Yeah, not crazy.
Bookie.
Well, that's just my income. Then I was doing a lot of scores. So, you know, but like I said, I lived crazy.
So when you say scores, are you hitting licks like at jewelry stores?
Jewelry stores, big drug dealers were kidnapping them, tying them up, robbing them, stuff like that.
I know you talking about that shit. Like you still had clout with drug dealers where you just be like...
Extorting them, taking shit from them, you know what I mean? You know, if you want to sell in our area, you know, we make up fake scenarios to extort you. It was crazy. It was really crazy. It was really crazy.
I bet you came up with some good shit.
Yeah.
So what happens then? 28, you get proposed to become
27.
27.
Yeah, but Ronnie's still in prison. Vin wanted me in, which is like the craziest thing, because he's like an icon. So when even though I didn't get made, just the fact that he wanted me in made my whole life. Like I made it. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy only put in 3 guys in his whole life. He's been a gangster since the 50s.
Yeah.
He put in his nephew, Ronnie, his son. Sorry, 2 guys. Only his son and his nephew. Okay?
It's big.
Yeah, so it was like, you know, I felt like I made it, but you know, end up happening. I end up going to jail, and that's what happens, you know.
So when did it all go down? What was
30 years old. 30 years old.
Did you feel it coming?
No. So the FBI, you never see them coming. So how the FBI operates is this: the only time you see them is either when they're giving you a card, and when they give you their card, that means you're indicted. So you know how it works. That means they've been watching you for 6-7 years, literally, with organized crime cases. So they'll come bring you a card with their name on it. You want to cooperate? Basically saying, call me. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
If you don't call them, 90 days later, they'll be coming to pick you up in the ring, and you're on a RICO indictment. That's how they operate. That's the only time you will see the government. They watch you from fucking 2 miles away, house taps, body taps, car taps, surveillances that you never even heard of or seen.
I remember you saying
yes, they rolled in my evidence. It was 10,000 wiretap page indictment. 10,000 pages. You know, there's no beating them.
No.
They're an unstoppable machine, and when they come at you, this is what they always say. They allow certain things. When people start getting shot and beat up, you're going. They can't allow the violence no more. They won't allow it. When Mafia starts getting crazy, people start getting killed, no, you're gone. Any kind of gun violence, they're taking you the fuck out.
Yeah,
you know?
I had one of my mentors tell me one time, he's like, the government's fucking smart. They're slow, but they're smart as fuck.
They're not slow. Let me tell you what they do. They have a thing called open grand jury. So you understand that. They're the only ones allowed to do it. They'll keep it open, and they'll keep putting evidence on you for years. More charges, more crimes. They just keep building and building. When they lock you up, your balls to the wall.
So when they pop you...
Oh, forget it. State, Florida, and federal.
I got 3
conspiracies. I got 3 conspiracies all over. 3 different ones.
From federal, state?
Federal, state, and Florida. New York State, federal government, and Florida.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm looking at it forever. Yeah, it's crazy. I had jewelry store robberies in Florida. I had fucking all kinds of shit in New York State. Federal, forget it. Crazy shit. Arsons, assaults, shootings, crazy shit.
And
my cousin wore a wire on me.
I was just gonna say, tell me the story.
Well, I had a bunch of cooperators against me, but he was like one of the ones that got me in the state with a wire. He was selling drugs to an undercover with his baby in his arms, pulling the fucking drugs out of the baby's backpack, giving it to an undercover like 21 times, which is like 20 years in the state prison. It's horrible. So they knew what they do is they target people that are under us. Because they start at the bottom.
Sure.
So they work their way up.
Get him to flip.
Get this jerk off. He's a nobody, but his cousin's Gene Borrello. This kid's gonna give us a big fish.
Yeah.
That's how they operate. And they did. You know, he fucking buried me. You know what I mean?
It was his wedding, right?
No, I was going to my friend's wedding. I had a tuxedo on, and he's been setting me up for a while. So I went to go stay by his house. When I walked out, they were waiting for me.
In a tux.
I was in the party. I was in the party.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I seen so many people, there's like 20 of them with guns. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on right now in my brain? I'm like, well, I did so much shit. I don't even know what it's for. You know what I'm saying? So, but I ended up being with him. They put me on a $500,000 bail. I was trying to bail out. Then Florida came. Bang. They didn't want me to bail out. So they put the hold, the fugitive warrant. Bam. Can't go nowhere now. Then the feds are coming. Boom, boom. So it was just like it was planned.
Yeah,
now what they're doing while I'm in there, they're still investigating my people. They locked up Vinny Asaro for the Lufthansa and all the murders. They locked up the structure already. They got like 7 guys. Now they're all getting locked up. Now they're coming for the younger guys. This is what they do. Just sweep you all up.
Damn.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. You know, and then before you know it, my boss's $3.2 million house, $2 million in forfeitures, people getting 20 years, 15 years.
I think I saw that house on Instagram the other day, actually. It popped up, like former mob bosses, abandoned mansion.
Yeah, he was a real tough guy, Ronnie G. I was his right-hand man. He was a real tough guy.
So that was, would you say that was the end of the Bonnano crime family?
No, it's still there, just the violence is gone. They actually made a law now, the Mafia law, no more murder. They took murder away from organized crime because they feel like that's the thing that fucks everything up. But that's actually not correct. I'm not promoting this, but I'm saying without the violence, no one's going to pay you. Where's the respect? What are you going to threaten them with empty threats? Guys knew they had to pay our crew because I was shooting you in broad daylight. I was pulling up on you. I was beating you in front of everybody. We were violent. So of course you're going to pay us our money. If there's no violence, fuck you, I ain't paying. What you do?
I mean,
come dance with me? Like, the fuck out of here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like a hit or miss, you know what I mean?
Alright, so you're with the feds, they got a 10,000 page fucking indictment on you.
10,000 pages, I'm 2,200 of them.
Obviously.
My guidelines were 15 to life in the feds. I had conspiracy to murder, attempted murder, home invasions, armed robberies, arsons, assaults, loan sharking, illegal gambling, kidnapping. I had in the state, guns, selling guns, home invasion, armed robbery. In Florida, I had armed robbery.
That's it?
I know, it's crazy.
So you're sitting there reading this shit to you.
Oh, it's over. No, it wasn't that. It took 19 months because what happened was I wanted a lawyer from the Fed. I knew the federal lawyers like $300,000, and I reached out to my people and I said, listen, you just got to give me a fighting chance. You know, I'm looking at forever and a day. You wouldn't give me the lawyer. That spit in my face.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? You make $400,000 a month. You're a multi-millionaire. Get me the fucking lawyer, bro. I know I'm going away for the rest of my life. Just want to give me a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My cop-out was 37 years with everything. I know I'm done. Like, just give me a fucking chance. I know it's over for me. And I was okay with that. I really was. I was trying to cop out to 20 the whole time, bro. They wouldn't give it to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I was in Reichers Island, everyone, if they watch it and they know me from Reichers, I was tough, bro. I was a legit tough guy in jail. I didn't give a fuck. I held people down. I was a good person. But when you betray me like that, I'm going to betray you now.
Yeah.
Because I did everything for you.
Yeah.
Now go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You scumbag me now.
Yeah.
You're not going to give me a fucking federal attorney? You're not going to give me a fighting chance? You're going to fucking, my mother's giving me commissary money, motherfucker?
That's crazy.
Okay. All right. I got something for your ass. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. That's what happened. But I still ended up doing 6 years because I had so much violence.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get 10 still. But I had 17 shootings. 17.
Oh.
So, I thought I was still going to get 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I had so much shit going on. So that's why, like, when I came out, the podcast blew up, the Johnny and Gene show, because I was that guy for my time.
Because you got out when? September?
2020. I got out 2020. Of December. I walked into COVID,
December
bro.
2020.
I walked into COVID, bro. No, December 2019, and then COVID hit March 2020.
You walked into
I walked into getting locked down again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, like I said, so people understand why I became so popular is because I was this modern day mob guy that operated like old school guys.
Yeah.
If you put 6 crews together, they won't have, I still got more violence than them. Put 7 crews together in the 5 boroughs, I got way more things they ever did in their lives.
Yeah, I mean.
I was that guy as far as like chaos. You understand? I was known as chaos. So there was, like I says, in the 90s guys, 80s, I'm a dime a dozen. They were all like that. All the mob guys were. But in my time, there wasn't many of them. Chris Cagnata was, but he's dead. You know, I shot him, and then he ended up getting killed by somebody else. There was a few wild guys like that. Duke, but he's on the run. FBI's was wanted list right now. He was a beast, Albanian. There's a lot of guys that were like that. Like, I mean, small portion of us, but in the 90s, 80s, they were all like that, bro.
Right.
So I stood out. And so when I came onto the podcast, I'm telling these stories. They're like, damn, that shit still goes on? We thought that was dead. No, we were still doing that. I was. So that's why I blew up so much. Johnny A. Light, who was a hitman for John Sr. and John Jr., known lunatic, you know, me and him got on a podcast together, and it blew up. But the government didn't like it. They violated me 6 times over it.
What was the reason?
That were glorifying making money off hurting people. I'm still on federal probation. They own me, basically. They don't want me sitting with Johnny. We're in fucking the Daily News. We got other cooperators coming on talking crazy shit.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
Like, because you've done shows, you know, with these Michael Franchise, Sammy the Bull Gravino. Is there no part of your parole that's like you cannot be associated?
Yeah, and I was still doing it because I'm like, yo, I'm doing the right thing. Am I out here robbing and shooting? Should be happy.
Yeah.
What's the fucking big deal? Oh, you're glorified by hitting a guy with a baseball bat. You're laughing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a little, you know what I'm saying? I understand. And then, you know, we got other guys coming on the show saying they made more money with the government than the fucking street. It was got crazy. The judges were flipping out. We got too popular we were on the Gangland News. It's called Gangland, right?
Yeah.
Very big column. They wrote over 100 stories on me. And they were having a field day with it. You know what I'm saying? They were contacting the judges. They wanted to hear what they got to say. It was just getting crazy.
They pulled you in.
They didn't pull me in at first. I got into an altercation with something. I did it to myself, but they used it as an excuse to fuck me and ban me from everything.
They were sitting on that and dropped
They were
that.
waiting for that shit, bro.
So this right now?
No, I'm not on probation no more.
You're good?
I'm good. I've been good since September. Free to do whatever I want.
So let me ask you this, because I'm sure people ask this. You were supposed to do 10, you got out in 6.
No, I was supposed to do life, and I did 6.
So
it's up to a federal judge,
right.
Judge Block. It's up to judge. It was up to my federal judge, and he's the best federal judge in the business. Everybody knows who he is. He's a famous judge, and he says I'm not going to bury him. You know what I'm saying?
So he was satisfied with
everything, and he looked out for me. And not only that, when he's something better, I went in front of him 3 more times, and he still wouldn't bury me. And the government was mad at me. I kept violating, and he's like, "I'm not giving him 5 years or 3 years. No, 6 months, 8 months, bullshit. You know, stuff that time I didn't care about." And I ended up violating. I had house arrest. Forget it. Restarted my probation. They were torturing me, and then finally I got done this September. I did 8 months, and I came out, and that's it. No more probation. They can't do nothing to me.
So you got no restrictions now?
No restrictions. No nothing. Yeah.
What about, I mean, can you own a firearm?
No.
Okay. So you're still under general felon?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the worst. No
Actually,
way. I got all gun
shooting
convictions.
Never mind. That's
actually
dumb question.
That's actually the worst thing.
No, I would assume that you probably can't pay anywhere near that.
Right.
But what about, you know, how can they not? Couldn't they still give you guys shit just associating with all these mob guys? Couldn't they still try?
All right, so
if they wanted to, couldn't
I'm gonna
they?
be honest with you. I had a federal agent. Her name was Christine Myers. She hated me, obviously. She kept coming out here, interviewing people, seeing if I'm still a bad guy. My ex-girlfriend kept on trying to get me in trouble. You know, talking with her, bullshit, and she was really after me, and she was actually asking questions like, oh, is he doing like this? Is he doing that still? Like trying to build something on me, like, oh, this kid's a bad guy again, we think.
Yeah.
You know, because they'll fuck you like that because I'll get 100 years.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know, so that's what,
They'll
you know.
bury your ass.
Yeah, this lady was just miserable, and they were mad that I like became famous. You know, they hated it, the government, that I was like becoming like book deals, a best-selling book, TV show options.
Yeah.
You know, all this shit. They're like, fuck, what, are you kidding me right now?
Do a quick little plug for your book.
Born in the Life. It's a bestseller. I sold over 15,000 copies. I was told books don't sell no more. I love saying that. And it became a bestseller. Now they're working on it to become a TV show.
Good.
Yep.
I actually bought it today.
Yeah, it's a good book, man.
Yeah, I'm looking.
And that's only
forward to
10% of my life because you can't make a book 1,000 pages. So I said I'm gonna give them good stuff, and then the TV show I'll have everything. You know what I mean?
So what, can you talk about that, the TV show?
Yeah, I can't say with who, but I could say that it's a huge platform. We're working on it now.
Like a mini series?
Yeah, it's gonna be a 10 part season, you know, 10 episodes or maybe 12, and it's going to be real actors though. It's not going to be like...
You're not going to play yourself?
No, I'm not. The person I ex is pretty big name. I'm not going to say yet, but we'll see what he says.
Were you... Okay, so you're involved in picking who's going to...
I'm picking myself. I already made that clear.
I'm looking forward to...
Yes. Yeah.
To who can... Because, dude, you're a character, bro.
Yeah, so I had one in mind. He's an A-list actor, and I talked to his people, and they said, yeah, he'd definitely be interested, but I'm waiting for it to come back. We'll see what happens. If not, I have other names, but like I said, for the most part, this is going to be something huge, not like some rinky-dink shit. Like, I'm talking about the pilot's going to cost $7 million.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's way big.
Pilot's $7 million.
Yeah,
that's what it costs to make this pilot.
What's some other crazy stories you got?
Oh, I got crazy shit. I mean, what?
You got anything crazy from like being locked up?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, so when you got locked up, where were you at?
Well, I was in Reichers at first, you know, I was always in Reichers Island, federal, but, you know, in Reichers Island, like I said, a lot of shit was crazy. They would put me in maximum security houses, so all these guys are facing, you know, life in prison or, you know, forever and a day, and they're all gang leaders and, you know, a lot of violent shit going on, cuttings all day, and, you know, I got caught up in that world because at the end of the day, the gang members respect me. I was a Mafia guy.
Yeah, I was kind of interested.
They love us.
That world, what?
I didn't like Latin Kings. I didn't get along with them.
Okay.
I had a lot of situations with them.
Because you guys are a gang, right? But you're not.
We're not a gang. We're not even in
your
the
organization.
State. We're only in the Fed, so I'm by myself. You know what I mean? But all the gangs respect me. I got along with the Bloods really well, and I didn't get along with the Latin Kings. A couple of them I did, but I didn't like them. And they kept on trying to recruit Irish and Italian people, and these kids were going with them. I'm like, you look like fucking idiots. Like
the Latin King.
I said, what's the name of the gang? Say it for me, please. Where the fuck does it say Irish and fucking like? You still look like idiots. You know what I mean? So they didn't like that I was saying things like that. I ended up knocking one of their leaders' teeth out. But the problem was that they're deep in that building, C95. I couldn't go nowhere. I was trying to go to visits. They're trying to move me in the visit floor. Everywhere I had a problem. On court, I had to watch out. I'm outnumbered. Finally, one came into the house. He did something to my friend. I ended up stabbing him. You know, thank God I got taken out when I did because they were looking to kill me in there. I ended up stabbing this kid. The Bloods had my back. I got him pretty bad. You know what I mean? And I ended up getting moved just in time to the feds. They took me out because...
Where'd you go, federal?
I went under my fake name. That's why I was good.
Damn.
Yeah, I was in the process of doing my deal.
Got it.
Otherwise, I was fucked. But you know what? They don't.
So they wanted you bad, bro.
Yeah. Oh, they were gonna kill me in there.
Yeah.
I hated them. I used to call them all kinds of names. I used to say, yo, any Latin King come in this fucking house, let me know. We're getting them the fuck out of here. I hated them. So I was nuts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, like I said, two of them jumped my friend, broke his nose, did some bullshit, and I fucking lit one up nice. And but they kept saying the wrong name. That's why I kept sliding through. They kept saying Gino. Everyone knows me as Gino. So when they say, yo, you Gino? I'm like, no, I'm Gene. because my name is Gene, but everyone called me Gino in jail. So I was skating through. Bro, you got to be smart. Yeah. I'm outnumbered.
Hey, you're a wise guy.
You're going to the court. Yeah. You're in court with these motherfuckers. They're all looking for Gino from 8 Upper.
Yeah.
They're smoking me in there. I'm by myself. There's 4 of them. You know what I mean? So I'm playing it smart. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to move around. You know what I mean? Because I'm going after their people. It's like someone after my people. I know what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I was maneuvering good. You know what I mean? So then I finally got out of there. They were looking to get me. It was pretty crazy. You would have to see it how I was moving. I was nervous. I had weapons on me going through the hallway because we have a thing, surgical scalpels, but they're 11s. They go through metal detectors, so you're good. You can keep them on you. So you're getting cut with a fucking surgical scalpel, or you're getting stabbed with a fucking piece of the fan. Looks like an ice pick. It's an ice pick. You know what I mean? So it was crazy.
How'd you avoid picking up other charges? Like
Rikers Island don't charge you.
They don't give a fuck.
It's a fucking cesspool. What do you mean charge you?
I've heard it's a
cops.
fucking jungle.
Yeah, they're cutting cops. You know?
So when you got out, you were coming out of Rikers?
No, federal. The last one?
Yeah.
Feds. I went over to the feds. I was in Farrington, New Jersey. I did all federal time.
How was that?
That was cool. It was a laid back
Feds?
spot. No, feds is not laid back. You going through? They're actually worse than the state right now. More violence right now.
Because typically
federal penitentiaries, people getting killed every month.
Typically it was the reverse.
Opposite.
No?
Now they take everything, the feds. They take all the gangs now. They take all the MS-13s, the little scumbags, you know, all them little fucking cockroaches, you know, killing you for $500. They take $500 contracts.
Shit.
They got nothing. They're doing life. They have not a dollar to their name.
So when you got to the feds, was there more organizational people there that you could?
Absolutely. Yeah, but I was out of that.
Still,
I was out of that. You know what I mean? So I didn't care.
Yeah, you were in
different life.
So you got out 2020. Podcast started right away. I mean, what was your play? Like you get out where you're like,
I didn't even know what a podcast was. I didn't know what an iPhone really was. I was like, yo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who put you on?
Johnny Eli. He's like, yo, come on the show, Vlad TV. I didn't know how big Vlad was. I didn't know that.
And where were you living at the time?
I was in Manhattan.
Just kind of fucking they're gonna figure shit out?
I already knew I was gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? So Johnny's like, come on the show with me. Start doing these interviews. I was like, all right. You make money. They pay you. You know, go on. I'm like, all right. So I started doing that, and then I didn't realize who Vlad was. And he's like, it's a huge show already. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So when I went on, I only did like a little 5-minute thing with him to introduce me, and then everybody wanted to know who I was. Like, yo, this kid's modern day. We want to know who this kid is. And then from there, I remember my Instagram. I knew something was wrong. I'm like, I had like 300 followers. I look at it the next day. It's like 6,000. People just kept
When was this?
February of 2020.
I'm trying to think, like.
Well, as soon as I came out,
because I saw you before we were introduced.
Right.
Like I'd seen you.
All over. I'm all over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then everybody just kept on jumping, and then everybody DMing me, yo, I'm gonna go. And I seen how it's a money pit now. Guys were sending me $500 to FaceTime them to talk stories from other countries on Instagram.
Well, because I mean, bro, the Mafia.
They're intrigued by it. Yeah.
It's like a brand in itself.
My biggest fan base comes out of UK and Australia.
Really?
They're crazy with me. I'm like a rock star over there. Yeah, it's great.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they love it over there. UK and Australia. I get fan mail from Tokyo.
Can you go over there?
Greece. Certain countries don't accept me. No, Australia don't accept me. No.
Well, fuck. Yeah. They're weird anyway.
Yeah, so that's how things blew up, and the book came out, and it just went crazy.
When did you release the book?
A year later after I got out.
How long did that take you to?
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted everything to be perfect. I did it in prison, but I wanted my book author Lou Romano to go over with me again. And then when it got released, it just went crazy because I already had this big platform.
Well, yeah, bro, and like you said, you are the only modern day
guy that had all these crazy stories. So they jumped on it, and then plus, I'm very how can I say it, outspoken. So when I go on these shows, people love me for that. Yeah. They'll look at me more than a big time guy.
That's one way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say anything. I fought with everybody and give a fuck who you are.
Yeah.
I always been like that. So I would come at these guys and say crazy shit, and people loved that, and they felt like I was like this 50 Cent now, like the mob genre.
Shit, bro.
Always
like
stir shit.
Michael Franchise.
I love drama. I can't deny it. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of fun though. It was fun, and then we all became friends. It became like WWE almost, like wrestling.
Well, at the end of the day, bro, you guys are
became like entertainment.
There's got to be some brotherhood, camaraderie there too.
Fuck, I'm real close with Sammy. I'm real close with Johnny. Mike's my buddy.
Yeah.
Dominic Sicali. We were all real guys out of the 5 families.
Your cousin too. Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Anthony. Yeah, I love it. That's my cousin. Yeah, Ruggiano. Yeah, we do things together all the time.
Yeah.
I make fun of him because he loves he goes, Babe Ruth's the best baseball player. Get the fuck out of here. We can't go jump over our credit card. Come on, bro. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player. So we'll brawl over that. Because if it's not a Yankee, I can't say it.
So you got a podcast with him, no?
No, we just did shows together with other people. Yeah.
So let's talk about, like, we talked about the TV show, but what else in the immediate future? Like,
well, I'm signed on to be in a movie called Pony. I have like a scene in it, you know, like a fighting scene, something I help something out. Johnny Light's one of the main stars. It's actually a real Hollywood film. And I'm waiting to film that. You know what I mean? That would be like my first movie to actually be in a film, which is pretty crazy. The stunt choreographer is my friend Matt, who's helping me with the TV show. He put it all together. He's Mark Wahlberg stunt double, Jason Statham stunt double. He was in TV shows. He has a good name behind him. He's actually a ninja, a real ninja.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's like training me to fight on camera. Because it's different than just, brawling. So that's coming up, so that'll be fun.
How wild is this shit now? Could you have ever imagined all this shit? I say it all the
time. No. If you told me 10 years about YouTube, I'll tell you, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm in the street. Fuck away from me. Let's talk about YouTube. And, now it's like the whole thing's just crazy. I never thought I'd be here. I never thought I'd be like this, like blown like that. Because everyone's in shock at like how big I got. You know what I'm saying? In this whole situation, it's just like, whoa. Every time you put on a fucking thing, you see me. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the biggest platforms. I'm the only mob guy ever to go on No Jumper. You know what I'm saying? That's
true.
I didn't the only one. He's the only one. He wanted us. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of, and then the next one up is the big one, which I'm not gonna say, but hopefully I get on him. It's coming. We're trying. And then I'll be it. I don't need no more podcasts.
And then what? Entertainment
TV
business?
show.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm focusing on. I've been working on that show with Matt for 2 years.
Are you working on the writing?
We did all of that. He did all of that with his people and real producers, and they just attached somebody big to our show. So it's like it's definitely gonna happen.
Do you have a name yet?
Of the show? We have a couple. We don't want to call it the name of the book, so we change it up a little bit. So it's gonna be something cool, but we have 3 in mind. One will be picked soon.
Fuck yeah, bro. That'll go nuts.
Yeah. Definitely.
People do love mob shit.
Yes, I get 100 DMs every day. When's it coming out?
Nice.
Yeah, all day. When is it coming out? When's it coming out?
Fuck yeah, bro. All right, well, let's tell everyone how they get in touch with you, how they connect with you.
On my Instagram, it's my name, Gene Borrello. Like I said, I'm known for answering everybody. That's why, you could DM me. I answer everybody. Also, I had the podcast with Johnny Light, but that's no more right now. We're just on a little hold. But like I said, through Instagram, you want to talk with me, I'll answer you.
Nice. And if you had a message to the world, what would it be?
Just be prepared to see my face a lot more because it's going to be on TV. It's coming.
Get used to it.
I get used to this face. All right.
I fucking love it. All right, y'all. Another great episode. Stay True Conversations. Gene Borrello, the fucking mobster. Stay tuned for part 2. We'll check in what he's got going on. We'll do a little review after the TV series drops. I'm sure it'll be fucking going viral on Netflix or wherever it drops.
Yes.
Cool. All right, brother. Hey.
Yes. Thank you.